About cancer, you said?
Well,
what a collectible that would be. A vial of smallpox you could show your friends.
That'd be great.
Put it on your mantle.
Like 12 monkeys. You just open it up and wave it under the guy's nose at the airport.
Yeah.
Clean your room or I'll chuck this.
Yes, Dr. Steve?
No, you guys were talking about cancer being profitable, and I work in a cancer center, as you know, and it's certainly the practice of medicine in cancer is not profitable anymore. It hasn't been for some time. Almost all of our cancer centers are heavily subsidized. Now, you could make the argument,
but it's pharmaceuticals. Those are the $1 zillion companies. Because I read somewhere there's a $100 or $1,000 pill, a cancer pill that's like $1,000.
Absolutely right. Now, I will say that the pharmaceutical companies have never once turned us down when we needed chemo for somebody that couldn't afford it, and they've given it to us, okay? So that, number one, shows how much money they're making off everybody else, that they can just give it away in that way. But you could make the argument that the pharmaceutical companies are somehow, they have the cure, and they're just rolling out these things a little bit at a time so that they can make more money off of it. But the competition between these companies is so intense that I cannot believe that if somebody had a quote-unquote cure for cancer, which, by the way, is a bunch of different diseases, that one of these companies wouldn't have just said, fuck the rest of y'all, I'm going to make a killing and, in the short term and go ahead and roll it out.
But don't you think at some point we should, I guess, because Jim said it's almost an American thing. When you think that we should just since we're so into democracy in this country, that we just vote on one disease that will cure, and then we go to the next, because all this fucking diseases everywhere else, it ain't winning. Meaning, let's just say cancer is the most important thing, and we just key on cancer as opposed to diabetes. I'll wait. Diabetes will probably be 10th on my list.
No, but isn't there a lot of things, like, even if you're working for these other charities, let's say you're doing a thing for diabetes, or you're doing a thing for muscular dystrophy, it's not just about cure, it's about sustaining their life in a better comfort and that type of thing, right? It's also palliative care and all that, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's also money that's being devoted. It's not all going to the cure. That's what I'm saying. All these benefits and all this spending. When you give charity money to cancer, it's not going to the cure, incidentally. It's just maybe better medication.
It'd be nice to see somebody cure anything.
Right.
Anything. But it's enough. Enough money, enough fucking... for the 45th annual Jerry's Kids.
Yeah, that's never.
And they got 60-year-old people with fucking MS. Like,
I just gave £5,000 to muscular dystrophy.
Did you?
Yeah, I donated the money for one of my shows because I do a 30-minute routine.
You don't expect the kids to lift that. See, because it's money.
Well, I tell you,
in your country, and for us, it's weight.
Because I was doing that. I was doing that story about my friend with muscular dystrophy. I took to the brothel, right? And so I thought, I got him on the DVD, and I thought, all right, so I'll give the money from the recording of the DVD from the show, from the audience, I'll give that to charity.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So it's a nice little thing. But the thing is, because my mate Dan's in the story, and we're talking about taking him to a brothel, now Dan can't even lift his eyelids, like he's in a completely vegetated state. Completely vegetated state. And the fucking TV people at Comedy Central are like, can we get a signed release from Dan? And I'm like, no.
That ain't happening.
What are you talking about?
He can't do shit. Oh, my God.
He's that bad, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
was he that bad when you guys got him laid?
Yeah.
You still hang out with him?
Well, when I'm in Australia,
But how do you guys communicate if he can't?
He can still talk, but it's just very muffled and, he's not fucking high-fiving you as you're in the room.
Yeah.
He's lived to be 33 with it. That's pretty old for someone.
That's pretty old for muscular dystrophy, yeah.
Still alive and kicking. Well, let me rephrase that. Still alive.
I used to work, when I was in Rochester, I used to work with kids with muscular dystrophy. It was rough.
It's a bad one.
I finally had to move on because they were dying all around us.
Yeah.
It's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Hey Steve, is there anything that's almost been right now that's close, very close?
Rickets.
To being cured.
Lymphoma or leukemia. They've affected quite a few cures of people with leukemia with stem cell transplant or bone marrow transplantation and stuff. So, we're working on it. I mean, survival goes up every year, but you're right. It's a real slow kind of advance.
Ratspit wants me to ask you about vitamin B17 to fight cancer.
Okay. I don't know anything about that.
Dr. Steve's just like, all right, whatever. I don't know that shit.
Actually, can I ask you that? My brother thinks that vitamins are a load of bullshit. Are they a load of bullshit? Like, if you take vitamins, is it all placebo effect that you think you're doing good by yourself?
Well, here's the thing. If you have a vitamin deficiency, vitamins are great. I mean, vitamins are just nutrients that our bodies can't make, but they have to have to do their daily, duties and stuff.
And don't they normally they're in our food that we eat? We get enough. If you're eating a pretty good, balanced fucking diet, you're all right?
Yeah. Eat a balanced diet. But, we were created inside our environment, and when we ate a balanced diet, we kind of got most of the nutrients that we needed. But balanced diet means different things to different people. My mother-in-law, for example, was watching my kids one weekend, and I came back, and she's sort of nutritionally unsound, and I said, did they eat a balanced diet? And she said, well, they eat 5 pieces of fried bologna. Is that balanced?
Fried bologna?
You married a woman whose mother eats fried bologna? Like fried?
Yes.
Is your wife a bit trailer park, Steve?
Hey, is there any holistic anything that's officially good?
Yeah, man. I mean, look,
throw out a couple of good natural fucking products.
No, but all natural products are bullshit because they get tested, and if they get tested and they work, they become medicine.
That's exactly right. That was what I was going to say, Jim. Very good. There's a lot of things like glucosamine is a great example of something that used to be an quote-unquote alternative medicine, and they tested it, and it actually works for arthritis pain. It works as well as ibuprofen for most people without any of the side effects. And so now, there are very few family practitioners and orthopedists who don't prescribe glucosamine, so it's become mainstream. So once something is proven to work, I mean, we'll use the hell out of it.
But echinacea is bullshit, isn't it?
Echinacea went through a few studies that showed that maybe it decreased the length of time of a common cold by 30%, and then the bigger studies that were done showed that it didn't really do anything.
Shit. Yeah. So apple cider vinegar and fucking all of that stuff is...
If it worked, it would be medicine.
Well, yeah, and it depends on what you're using it for. If you're using it to acidify your urine, then apple cider vinegar works great. But
why would I acidify my urine, sir?
Hang on.
You don't know about that?
My fucking car. Wait a second.
This is where they're going to kill Dr. Steve for giving out too much medical information.
Yeah.
It's like 24 to hunting him down.
Helps to suppress bacterial growth. So a lot of people would normally use cranberry juice because it's a little more palatable than drinking vinegar. But you could drink vinegar to acidify your urine.
To clean your urinary tract out, like with cranberry juice, right? Mm. Because I fucked a lot of women who need cranberry juice the next day. I keep it in the house ready to go.
Yeah. Well, that's been...
I'm quick on the thrush as well.
and so how about horse shit like acai berries and acai berries and all that shit is nonsense, right?
Yeah, well, they have nutrients in them. Acai berries have nutrients in them. I've never seen a single study, and that's what, the thing that you have to do is you take 100 people and you give them acai berries, and you take 100 people that look exactly the same and do everything else except they don't take the acai berries and see if there's any difference in whatever it is that you're studying. And I've never seen a single study that shows that acai berries do anything other than supply you with some B vitamins.
I was going to say, let's break it down, though. It tastes all right, and it's better than eating fucking French fries.
Yeah, but you just don't eat the French fries or the
right there,
berry.
it's healthier for you.
Yeah.
Shit.
It might be full of vitamins, but it's all bullshit if people think it's
not a magic
medicine.
fucking cure.
Yeah.
It's all these...
that's why I'm asking. There's got to be a magic one out there.
We're all looking for the magic cure.
All these Chinese medicine things, you go to the Chinese doctors or whatever, and they give you a fucking bag of sticks. Fucking sticks and
Shit.
And they
shit.
live.
Yeah.
And then you boil it in water and you're meant to drink it. Tastes horrible. And I tried it a couple of times, never fucking worked.
They live a long time, fucking Chinese people, man.
But
Yeah.
go
They
with
live a long time,
You just
man.
think that because they all look the same and they're just replacing each other.
going with
There's billions of them.
Going with the Chinese people, Dr. Steve, acupuncture.
Yeah.
Is that horseshit? That's been around for forever, right?
Not horse shit.
I'm asking.
Been around
All right.
for thousands of years. Several decent studies have shown that acupuncture has real effects on the body and for things like pain and and some other parameters like that. And it's hard to do a double-blind placebo-controlled study with acupuncture because how do you give somebody fake acupuncture? And so they're mostly observational studies, but they're pretty good studies.
But
So
that's
what
not a
would you-
medicine. That's a technique. It's like saying massage. You can't tell it, but you feel better afterwards.
What would you say? What would you say, Dr. Steve, is like where you go? This particular group of doctors is nonsense, like chiropractors or anybody where you go nonsense.
Yeah, there's one called radionics, and what they do is they have it's just this machine, and it has a bunch of dials on it.
Woohoo.
And,
That's a bit
I don't know a
Scientology.
whole lot about it, but I know they submitted an article to the journal that I edit, and what they had was they had these quotes from this person, and they said it was the discorporate interview that they did with this person. I kept reading this article and reading it, and then I finally realized that what discorporate meant was the person was dead, but they were giving quotes, which means that they had channeled this person to get the quotes from them. Wow. Complete horseshit.
John Lennon. I love radiologizing.
So that one, to me, at least from the basis of that article, is complete horseshit. But, I'm sure there's some radionics person.
Anything that involves chi is bullshit as
So
well.
you're helping me out right now, Dr. Steve, by there's a lot of crackers out there that I'm sickening because I said something and they was praying that you proved me wrong, but you proved me correct, right, sir?
What's that?
There was no cure ever for anything.
Oh, there is now. Wait a minute now.
You already said it, Steve. You already said it. Don't go back now. Don't be racist now, Steve. Huh?
We eradicated smallpox,
but it was not cured. A person with smallpox did not have it, and then the next day a person didn't have it, and then the next day didn't.
But
There
what
must be skin diseases that have been cured.
But if you have a cure for it, you know what I mean? It's like a technicality, this Patrice O'Neal. Like, if you have a disease and they definitely have a medicine that is guaranteed to cure it 100%, what are we talking about then?
We're talking about curing. We say
But
smallpox still somewhere could pop up somehow.
No, well, only if it comes out of the lab.
And if you have it, you can't then just get rid of it, can you?
Yeah, that's the thing.
And where's
not cured.
where's
that's what we're
Ebola?
saying.
Where's Ebola at? It's just gone right now, but it could come back because it wasn't cured. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr.
wait a
Steve.
minute.
Appreciate it.
I'm looking-
Can you hang up on him over? Thanks, Dr. Steve. Thanks for calling, man. Appreciate it. Nice talking to you, sir.
Fucking Patrice.
Make your point.
God bless you. Anything else, Steve?
No, it's Weird Medicine this weekend, midnight after the Sam and Dave.
All right.
Very good. Thank you, Dr. Steve.
Have a good weekend, brother.
I like Dr. Steve.
Talk to you.
Dr. Steve is great, and Jimmy does the best impression of Dr. Steve.
I only met him
All
yesterday.
right. You know what? Why do we hang up on Dr. Steve when this phone call is sitting by? I got it now.
I'll field it.
Well, call Dr. Steve, though, back, because now I need to know if this is possible. Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask a question, Dr. Steve. I had a friend tell me one time he used to eat a lot of vitamin C, and his girlfriend used to get a lot of sore throats. One night they were having sex, and he had pain in her mouth, and she swallowed it, and it instantly cured her sore throat.
Instantly.
Do we really need to call Dr. Steve on this?
But you see,
vitamin cum.
You see what the problem with that is? This is just what Dr. Steve was saying. You'd have to have 100 people who had too much vitamin C come into an infected girl's mouth. And 100 normal guys come into a girl's mouth.
Hold on.
That's the only way you can tell.
Dr. Steve's trying to get to work, but Dr. Steve, did you hear that last phone call?
No, they were.
Yeah, why would you listen to our show? Chris, why don't you explain to Dr. Steve? He's on the line.
Hey, Dr. Steve. I had a friend one time. He told me that he used to eat a lot of vitamin C, and he was having sex with his girlfriend one time. It came in her mouth, and it instantly cured her
throat infection.
Throat. I want to know if that's true. Can that happen?
Well, dude, I wasn't there, but he said it instantly did what?
Cured her sore throat.
Oh,
No, I'm not staying.
Fuck off, that's bullshit.
Fuck off this bullshit. There you go.
Oh. Well,
if he was splooging penicillin, maybe, but vitamin C isn't a cure for strep throat in the first place. So.
And maybe just his cock just bashed the back of the disease out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could have had like an abscess in her tonsil, and he popped it with his.
Wow.
So from now on, no, that's
Nice
not could
song.
have. That's what happened.
Jesus, man.
Oh.
Oh my
And then it
God.
felt better.
All right.
Thank you for that tidbit of information, Dr. Steve.
Dr. Steve, what
you
shitty
did,
breakfast are you eating this morning?
I'm skipping breakfast this morning, but I'll eat a hearty lunch.